I love the on-deck Atalanta cam. Do you want me to turn this on? We've done a lot of launches.
This is an audio slate for dive H1936. UTC time is 20232400 mark.
Roger, we are ready for control. Auto descent. What? Mm. Oh my gosh, this is cool. Yeah.
So, aloha kakayaka, aloha winala, aloha ahiahi to all of our viewers out there. You are officially with the You're Muted watch crew this morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. Mahalo for joining us. I wanted to just give some background on where we're at today and our dive information, and then we'll start opening up our chat to start taking questions. So currently, we are at a depth of 127 meters, and our goal is to reach a depth of 2,500 meters for this dive, with a bottom time of roughly about an hour or so, an hour and 20 minutes to reach the bottom, and then we're looking at reaching a summit of 1,600 meters in depth for this dive. So we're currently at 14 meters per minute in velocity, and yep, our bottom depth is 2,500. So mahalo for joining us. We look forward to all of your awesome chat questions. And then today I would like to introduce Ivan. He will be help running our show today for all of your questions. So please put them in the chat. Oh, we have an aloha. Welcome back to the You're Muted crew, looking for another interesting dive with you from the UK. Mahalo for joining us. Malama. Take it away, Ivan, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, thank you, Hoku. I think it'll be great for us to introduce ourselves as part of the process. We first start telling a little bit about ourselves, and I'm going to start. And I'm Ivan Vicente with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and I have worked in Johnston Atoll before at the actual land-based portion of Johnston. Hoku, or Rob, actually. Hoku, you already went.
Okay. I'm Rob McColony. I'm the watch lead and also the geology lead on the expedition. And I'm not sure if I have anything interesting about me, but I'm from the University of Rhode Island.
This.
Oh, sorry. Hi, everyone. I'm Liz Miller. I'm a biologist on this watch. I'm coming to you from University of Hawaii, where I'm a PhD student.
Taylor, you're on mute.
Good morning, my name is Taylor Ann. I am the data logger and science manager on the Nautilus, and I'm a graduate student at California State University, Northridge, working on microplastic pollution in the deep sea.
Emma.
Hi everyone, I'm Emma. I'm from Annapolis, Maryland. I go to the U.S. Coast Guard Academy, and I am the navigation intern on this cruise.
And Josh.
Hey everybody, I'm Josh Chernoff. I'm the Herc pilot for the watch and the OET operations, ROV operations manager. I come from Vancouver Island, British Columbia, yeah, I'm enjoying this cruise so far. It's been a lot of cool dives, and hoping to have another good one tonight.
Michael?
Hello, good morning. My name is Michael Valle. I am going to be the Atalanta pilot and assistant to the Herc pilot and anything that that needs to get done. I am a grad student from UCLA, and I'm also a California born and raised type of individual. Whatever that might mean to you.
Oh, it means a lot, Michael. It means a lot.
And our broadcast expert.
Hi, this is Dave Robertson. I'm the lead video engineer on this expedition, and I hail from Seattle, Washington. I currently live part-time in Anchorage, Alaska. I live part-time on the coast of Oregon, and I work in Hawaii, so I bounce all over the place. Pushing the buttons, making the show. Back to you.
Yeah, we have 20 hours ahead of us on this amazing dive on what dive site named Unnamed Seamount X. We'll see how much mystery we find down there. We're going to be reaching depths again, like Hoku said, I think 2,500 meters, and the summit 1,600 meters. So this should be a very interesting gradient to explore. There'll be some geological samples once we hit the bottom, and hopefully some biological samples as well. So feel free to pose questions on the chat. We have one already, coming all the way from Salem, Massachusetts. So question is, what sort of details are usually in the dive plan, and how often is it updated? Does it see live updates during longer dives? That one, either Rob or Liz. I think Rob can answer that one.
Yeah, we usually, things we put in are the various waypoints on the dive, and then with the dive, our colleagues in the mapping area, Rennie, Kane, they do a great job in Lynette, and also I think Emma, they take the maps and put the waypoints on it, and they project it in a plan view, a projected perspective view, as well as a cross section to give us an idea of what sort of terrain we're going to see. We also have started to include some of the potential currents from a global model for circulation to get an idea of what the currents may be, and just updated the approach that we use for that. And we don't really do much live updates as we go along, but sometimes we do go back and correct some items, because sometimes when we decide to dive, it's very quick and we have to get the dive plan going. And so we just go back and do some small edits to update, make things correct. But that's that's how we do it. We also list the the various tools we have on the ROV, and what we'll be doing. Talk about the dive plan objectives and general sampling plan. But for this cruise, it's pretty much been the same thing the whole time. Let's grab rocks, let's look at biology, and when possible, get a sample that's representative or of interest.
Excellent, it's been working great.
eDNA with our Niskin sample bottles too.
That's right. And I think those that would also be part of this plan, eDNA samples in this dive. Thank you, Rob. Let's see.
Very high tech.
Okay, while we are descending, which will be a while before we reach bottom, there's questions. So, does anyone here in this group actually know when the yellow crane gets used? Folks have noticed that we have used the white crane for most operations.
Yeah, I can help answer that one. So the Hercules is stored primarily on the port side of the ship. So that's where the white crane will be the launch recovery crane for Hercules. So that's the one we're going to use throughout this cruise. The yellow crane was installed for use this year with an autonomous surface vehicle, ASV, tricks that we use. We work in partnership with UNH University of New Hampshire. Team there to do that does shallow water mapping. So it's essentially, that crane's use a launch to recover that system primarily. So that's the reason that it's there, and it's the reason it's not being used a lot right now, because most of the work we're doing is on the port side, and since that one's on the starboard side, it's just stowed for now. But you're going to see it in action on the next cruise, so if you want to come back on the next expedition after this one is over, you'll see that that process in action, that launch recovery of tricks. And that's yeah, it's pretty cool.
Thank you so much, Josh.
Yeah.
Well, we have plenty of time to continue rolling with questions before we reach the bottom. If anyone here in this group is compelled to explain the weirdest anomaly that you have discovered during the entire dive time since day one. Weirdest anomaly. That could be interpreted in many different ways, but if there's something that you feel compelled to share, the floor is open.
I thought it was cool when we found the huge cliff a few dives ago. That wasn't on the bathymetry at all. That was pretty fun.
And the large boulders that were hanging off the top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty spectacular.
Yeah, it was.
Liz, what about in the biota? Any weird anomaly in the biota you've seen so far?
I don't know if there's anything I would call like an anomaly. There's definitely things we've seen that we've been surprised by that we weren't expecting, but that's a lot of that is just because this area hasn't been characterized before.
That's
and
right.
so,
Yep.
you know, we kind of have some expectations going into dives based on similar areas that have been dove on elsewhere, but when you see something that doesn't match what you expected to see, that's, you know, that's not necessarily a huge surprise because, you know, two areas that seem like they might be very similar in terms of like geography, geology, all of that, can have very different animal communities, and that's part of what we're trying to understand is why do some things occur in one area and not elsewhere?
Yeah, to me, I would say surprise, not so much anomaly, has been the number of the number of fossilized jawbones on the beak whales. That's
been really cool.
Quite interesting. Yeah, very surprised by the number. I think 3 so far. Right?
I thought those crazy jellyfish were cool.
Oh yeah. That barrel that we found the other night, somebody's asking if we would be spending any time in going out to investigate such sightings, such as barrels that may contain things. I do not think so.
No,
I don't
that's
believe
not
that
really the objective of this expedition.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, around Johnston Atoll, it is no surprise to find some objects, some artificial objects in the bottom with all the activity took place at Johnston in the past. So it's likely we'll see some more stuff, such as buckets and barrels and other items that were disposed into the ocean during those decades in the military era. I have another question. Are there specific geological specimens you are looking for today? Rob?
Nothing really different than before.
Okay.
This region, it is a seamount. There isn't a flat top, so we wouldn't expect to see any limestone or any reef material here. Not sure about the sediment waves, the sediment ripples, but good chance we'll see some of those too.
Cool.
But the initial part of the dive is pretty steep. It's about 25 degrees on average for the first kilometer or so.
Wow.
So there should be nice exposure there and a bunch of little peaks. But around the region, there's a bunch of little small volcanoes, little conical features that are maybe 100 meters or so high, very similar to like the two we dove on the last time on the flanks of Johnston. So there are a couple of those peppered on top of this seamount too. So it'll be interesting to see what they may feature. Are they a different age possibly, if we get a sample of them? Or are they the same age as this the larger feature we're diving on? It'll be interesting.
That's exciting, actually. Yeah, this one for some reason, I have a feeling that this one's going to be a pretty awesome dive. You're following our 4th of July time yesterday with no dives today. I don't know. I feel we're going to see something cool.
Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't dive yesterday and see fireworks coral. That would have been a nice little...
Question just popped. If we've seen any volcanic activity on the seafloor in recent days, we believe we haven't seen any active volcanic activity at all. No hydro vents or anything like that.
Yep.
Oh, cool. How much longer before we reach the bottom?
I had to unmute myself. So we're sitting about a little bit over an hour, so about hour 15-ish, and we're moving at about 26 meters per minute and at a current depth of 448 meters.
Well,
yeah.
well, that means that...
We're moving right along.
Yeah, well, it means that by noon, the next group, that's when we pretty much will be reaching the bottom, around noontime, here in Hawaii time. And that means that the next group will get to really witness all the magic on the bottom. But we'll stay with you during the transition to the bottom, so you can ask us questions before the next group takes over.
All right. Adjusting auto descent to 30 meters per minute.
The winch adjusting alarm.
But we still could see some creatures on the descent, so...
Maybe some squid.
We could have some pop-ins. Maybe Samuel will show up before we head out. We got to see Sammy.
Sammy's union. You have to wait a while. He's on strict hours.
Well, he only comes out during certain times of the day.
See, isn't it so much more fun when it's the same shrimp?
Yes.
Yeah, we're talking about photobombing Sammy, who was tagging along with us. We thought it was the same shrimp the entire time.
No, I just like to believe that it's the same shrimp.
No, we're kidding, of course, yeah.
We know he has some stunt doubles.
If he's a union guy, he must be on standby time while we're descending, though, right?
No, because we don't pay him on the descent.
Oh, okay. But he might have to make an appearance, so he'd be on standby time.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Minimum call out.
I guess it depends on the dive plan, you know.
So I have a question from someone who's wondering if we ever highlight videos on how we deal with the samples once we retrieve them and how we store them and later examine. Do we have such videos, or do we showcase that in any way?
I think they usually, when we're doing sample processing, it's usually on the live stream. There's a camera in the lab where you should be able to get a little bit of an idea of what we do, but for the most part it's taking measurements and a lot of photos of all the samples and then preserving them, usually in ethanol. I think that's everything so far in this cruise has been preserved. If it's a echinoderm, I usually will dissect it first and then freeze some of the material, like the gut contents, and then the rest of it will get preserved in ethanol. But yeah, you can usually, if you tune in while we're doing that, I think they always put that on.
Cool.
Yeah, we usually on satellite channel 3, we usually put up the wet lab camera once the ROV is on deck. And you can see the samples being brought in and worked on, preserved, all of that kind of stuff. There's no narration or anything on that. If it's after the dive and the wet lab is empty, we switch away to something else, but you can always rewind up to 12 hours on the website and go back and look and see what was going on in the time previous.
Thank you, Liz and Dave. Liz, since we already got your attention, what is the average size in inches of the sea cucumbers that you've been collecting?
Oh man, you guys got to stop asking me number questions, especially in inches.
Liz don't like numbers.
I would say, let's see, first in centimeters, I would say the average is maybe like 15 centimeters. Let me see what that is in inches.
6.
6 inches? Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I would say like 6, I would say the range is maybe like 4 to 10 inches.
That sounds
What
right.
we've been seeing here.
Yeah.
I was
that
going to say
sounds-
7.4, so I was pretty close.
But I don't actually know. Sorry.
How did the core tube sample come out?
It
came up empty.
What?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
completely empty.
Seriously?
I think there was a lot of sediment releasing during recovery.
Yeah, if
I
we
don't
noticed
know.
when we were on our
Should-
way up, there was a lot of sediment coming off of the ROV. I don't know if that was coming from the tube.
Huh.
Did it? Hmm. But yeah, that was
Maybe
a
I
bummer.
didn't get it pushed down on the bottom plug very well.
Yeah, the plug was like kind of crooked. It wasn't fully in there.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
but there wasn't even sediment like in the casing. Like it clearly had been gone for a while.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
It was a good try though.
Yep.
It's disappointing. We'll do better.
It was okay though. The cucumber we sampled next to it, its guts were empty, so it wasn't like gonna be the best comparison anyway, even if we did get the sediment core.
Maybe there's
Sediment.
just,
Yeah, right, they're both
maybe
empty.
there's just nothing in the area.
It's
We just
sediment.
thought there was something, but
Elusive
there actually
sediment.
is nothing.
It's an illusion.
Ever think about that? Something is nothing is something.
That's
Do
deep.
you want to unmute
deep,
yourself?
Michael.
Yeah.
What do you think about the marine snow
Zero's
here?
a data
Muted.
point.
I think there's, there's not a ton of it.
Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot of jelly things.
Okay.
I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's about the same. It's pretty fine compared to some
Yeah.
of the other dives.
Yeah. I mean, we're not anywhere near the atoll at this point, so
Yeah.
I don't think we'd be seeing any more like island mass effect.
So what do you think? We're going to see ripples or rock first?
Ripples.
Ripples?
Well, actually, no, it might be pretty steep, so maybe
Yeah, it's about 25 degrees.
I predict both.
Is that cheating?
Now you can't lose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, that would be Emma. I mean, we could ask Dave, and then Dave. Yeah, is there possible to get up on satellite feed 3 the map and Emma kind of show it our
You
our
bet.
tour guide today?
You bet.
Your tour guide?
Yeah.
Sure.
There you go.
All right, so hello everybody. We are about 140 nautical miles northeast of Johnston Atoll right now. That's just where we are in the world, and Johnston Atoll is a ways off west of Hawaii. And so here we are. We can see our boat in the green, and it's to scale for the boat here, and it's facing into the current and the breeze, and it's actually also going in the direction that we are going to be going. Here is Atalanta, this kind of rotated square diamond thing, and you can see its trail in blue. And because we're descending, the ROVs aren't really moving forward or back, they're just kind of staying around the boat, so the trail is pretty short. And here we have Hercules, and you can see it's facing backwards right now because of this long line. And its trail is in red, so it's been kind of traveling around right behind this vessel. And if we zoom out here, you can see where we kind of are, the seamount. So this is the seamount we're going to be going on. It has been mapped on one of the previous dives, and all of these lines out on the sides are 100-meter changes in depth. So every line increases 100 meters from the blue to the yellow. And if we zoom in here, you can see waypoint 1, and all of these little lines that you'll probably be seeing on the screen more often than the 100-meter ones are 10-meter changes in depth. So you can see where we are. We're going to kind of go up this steep side of the mountain face here, and then it's going to slowly even out to about 5 degrees of incline where the lines are more spaced out. So yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Emma.
Yeah, if you zoom out, you can actually see all those little small volcanic cones around. See all the little, those small little cones that are everywhere.
They're volcanic cones? What does that mean?
I mean, small cones of volcanics.
Oh, cool.
It's a little different than what we've seen before. I mean, there may have been a couple, the little haystacks, whatever we saw, we dove between yesterday.
You okay if I just turn on the, just turn power to thrusters on?
Yeah.
I just want to keep an eye on that it's talking.
Hey, Rob, you've done some ROV work in the Atlantic Ocean, right?
No, just Alvin dives in the Atlantic.
Okay. Anyone in this group has done any ROV dives in the Atlantic?
Yeah, I've done some ROV work in the Atlantic. Yeah.
Great. So the question is if there is anything you would want to see with an ROV in the Atlantic Ocean.
I haven't done any work out like the mid-oceanic ridge there. That would be kind of cool to go dive in that area.
There are actually a seamount chain called Researcher Ridge down about 15 north off of Barbados that we had a coring expedition about 5 or 6 years ago that was very intriguing. And I'd love to go back and look at that, compare the various biology and get some more rock samples there. It'd be something interesting. And it's at the top of it is at a depth, and I think ocean trawlers can actually fish there because it's international waters. So it'd be kind of interesting to see what sort of effect the trawling has on the top of the seamounts with the biology.
Thank you, Rob. Rob, somebody's asking if those bumps on the slope of the seamounts, if those are cinder cones.
I wouldn't call them cinder cones, they're volcanics.
Yeah.
I mean, cinder, you kind of think it's a subaerial, but I think they're little volcanoes that were distributed.
Okay.
There's some other ones that are kind of like that shape, small ones, they call petite spots, but they're usually associated with near subduction zones where you have localized eruptions on the downgoing plate, because the plate flexes, and that flex upward causes melt and cracking that allows very unique melt from the base of the lithosphere to come up to the surface.
Wow. And, Rob, this is just me asking, but do we have an idea about how many millions years ago this mount we're going to be seeing is approximately?
I don't know about this one, but I think they're still in the 70 to 100 million year old sort of range here.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, this region looks like the intersection of different seamount or hotspot tracks over the years, so that's why it's quite a wide range. I mean, I think Kevin would have a better handle on the age since he's done some of the dating in this region.
So we are at 800 meters, just over 800 meters, and we still have a ways to go, another hour before we reach the bottom. We're seeing average levels of marine snow compared to what I've seen before. We'll see how clear it is in the bottom. Should be clear. So Rob, somebody was noticing on that diagram that the secondary cones they seem to be evenly distributed. And do you think that they were erupting before, during, or after the main seamount?
You're muted.
If I had to go on a hunch, because they seem to be somewhat grouped around that seamount, that they almost might be at about the same time, maybe just a little bit later. But that's just a hunch. I have no. But it looks like there may be a couple of them on top of the seamount, which would probably suggest they might post-date or be at about the same time.
Hoku, if you see me entering a state of trance, meditating, looking at this thing, reaching the bottom, I sometimes go into a trance because it almost feels like I'm diving into the depth of my heart here, like in a state of meditation. So you can always help me. That's what it sometimes feels like. Oh, I'm journeying deep into the very core of my heart here.
Yeah, and watching the marine snow come at you like that kind of has that hypnotizing effect.
It does.
It does.
I mean, you may not have had the experience, but driving in a snowstorm has that sort of effect.
That's
Oh,
true.
good griefy.
I have had that experience.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Colorado.
It's a marine
too.
snowstorm.
Yeah.
I got stuck underneath 12 feet of snow on the summit of the Siskiyou Pass in my Zuzu rodeo.
What?
All I had to dig myself out was my paddle. Oh, my canoe paddle.
Oh, no.
Everybody wanted to use it, but didn't want to share. Oh, is that Samuel? No.
No, it's a little squid.
Samuel's not during working hours yet.
Oh, right. He's off.
Yeah.
He's on call right now.
Might
Oh,
have
that was
another hour
innovation.
until-
Or
So
maybe a
Sam,
ctenophore.
Need the bottom time.
Sorry. It's like larvacean, ctenophore, siphonophore. Yeah.
Somebody is asking if we've had a curious well visitor in shallow depths. I think that the only time that's happened with the Nautilus was in the Gulf of Mexico. That was recent, right? Like, I think last year, was it?
The sperm whale?
The sperm
Yeah,
whale,
I don't know when
I
that
don't know
was.
when
That
that
was a
was.
few years back.
Yeah,
I want to see it so bad. That's
a few years back. Yeah, there's actually, you can see those highlight videos on
Oh, it looks like it was
Nautilus Live.
2015.
In 2015. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool video to see, so you're welcome to check it out on the website. Let's see. Yeah, I have a question here. I think Rob, you might be, Rob or Josh can answer this one. If you've been on any ROV trip around Hawaii with live seabed volcanic activity to watch the creation of a new rock, or does that help with your understanding of what you see in structures from the much older volcanic activity?
I've never dove around the Hawaiian Islands to see the live volcanism. I'm not sure if Josh has.
We've done some RV work around the islands, but yeah, no, I've never seen active volcanic activity outside of like hydrothermal vents, so I haven't seen. I've seen the smokers and the water coming out, but not actual volcanic activity.
We did mapping right off of Big Island right
Yeah.
after the last eruption, 2018, and mapped fairly close to shore. I mean, it was still steaming and smoking.
Yeah, you could see the lava
Wow.
pouring
Yeah.
into the ocean from the surface from the boat, but
Yeah.
we never.
Well,
And we
we
actually
did-
did a dive to kind of look to see if we could see anything, but we never came across that.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
But it was pretty impressive, even standing, a mile offshore.
Yeah, that was really cool.
How long ago was that?
2018.
2018. All right.
Starting to get a little runaway on the camera.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it'll just keep going, but not as fast. Or it's a smooth.
Smooth runaway.
Yeah, smooth runaway.
We still have just under an hour to descend, so feel free to post questions on the chat. Hoku, where are people visiting? Where are people visiting from today? Let's see. All right.
So we have visitors from Aloha, Canada, Germany, Portugal, Norway, Switzerland, Brazil, Australia,
Wow.
the UK, and the US. Nice.
So many different places.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mahalo for joining us. I love it. And then Yvonne, if you wanted to continue our Aloha mean series, we can do that. And you can choose another word in your language. What does Aloha mean in Spanish? In your language?
Well, aloha in Puerto Rico is
Yeah, Puerto Rico, Puerto
is-
Rican.
Well, we of course hola, but we also have other ways of saying aloha.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we say wepria
What is that?
or wepa.
Wepa. Oh,
It's like
fun.
aloha.
Sounds exciting. If
Yes.
you want to do a little dance when you say it. Yeah, so pop it in the chat. What does aloha mean in your language? That'd be awesome. Ooh. Oh, aloha, Portland. I see another question there for you, Yvonne.
Yep, question just came in. So this is for our broadcast expert. Do the ROVs capture only video, or do you also record audio, such as whale songs, fish, or any hydrothermal vent sounds? And we've been getting this question a lot, and we pretty much know the answer. Unfortunately, the frequencies from Hercules, they're very strong, very loud underwater. So if we were to put a hydrophone, we would only capture the sound of Hercules, and we won't be able to really receive anything other than. So we don't. Yeah, I don't think we've ever done that.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. The ROV is hydraulically operated, has a big hydraulic pump run by a motor, and it's very noisy. There have been experiments in places where scientists have had hydrophone packages that we've placed and then go away, and then you come back a few months or whatever later and pick it up, and it's recorded sounds, and they try to identify them and that kind of stuff. But direct listening isn't possible.
And does Atalanta's camera always point down, as that is where Hercules usually is, or does it have multiple camera, like her pointing in multiple directions?
Go, Michael.
Atalanta's main cam, which is the one that gets fed out to the world, that can go, that pans up and down depending, and I try to turn around to try to keep Herc in place. Right now it's pointed down because if it was pointing up, we'd see nothing but darkness because our lights are oriented in the aft of Atlanta, and it's pointing down, well, pointing at an angle because we always want to be facing Herc and lighting up Herc as much as we can.
Thank you, Michael. And yeah, we've seen amazing sights from Atalanta, especially when Herc is sitting just above these boulders and some of the slopes. And I encourage people to actually enjoy the view from Atalanta in some of these steepy slopes. And good morning, Tasmania.
Oh.
Yeah, we have Tasmania in the house. They're telling us we are looking blue. Feeling blue too in a good way. Feeling blue is not a bad thing.
Blue is my favorite color. What's your favorite color?
Blue, definitely.
Really?
Blue.
Yeah, also blue.
Okay.
Yellow.
Rob, yellow.
Transparent.
Plaid? Plaid is not a
Liz,
color.
your favorite
That's
color?
his favorite
I
political
like dark
color.
green. Reminds me of home.
Yeah, like forest green or
Yeah,
something.
reminds me of home in Seattle.
Oh. Michael, Josh, Dave, colors?
I kind of like Adobe, kind of like dark red.
Ooh, okay.
Brick.
That's nice.
Brick red.
That's nice.
No.
I was always fond of burnt umber. I only know that from the crayons.
Yeah.
Oh,
Crayola.
I'm going with teal then.
oh,
Teal.
pretty.
All right, would you classify teal as green or blue?
Oh.
It's neither. It's teal.
Teal. Michael, you're up. You're the last one. Pressure.
Turquoise tends to be good.
Teal?
Oh.
Or turquoise?
Difference between teal and turquoise.
Shade.
Shade.
Yeah, I think.
A little bit of white.
Yeah, I think turquoise is a bit lighter than teal.
A bit
Michael's
bluer.
throwing shade at teal, I guess.
Not much a hue.
What about periwinkle?
What color is periwinkle?
Periwinkle's good.
It's like purplish blue, isn't it?
Yeah.
Light,
It's
light
Like a
purple.
lavender?
that's a different hue.
Right. Hues, shades.
And shade.
I like burgundy. Burgundy is one of my favorite colors.
Burgundy tastes good.
I was just thinking of wine. It goes really good with cheese.
That was my fault.
And we're back to cheese.
That was my fault. That was my fault. I take full responsibility.
All right, we got about 45 minutes until I reach the bottom.
Someone's asking how long is the tour on board Nautilus for team members, and that varies. This one is about 25 days from start to finish.
Chartreuse.
And the front row people, how long are you guys on for?
Are you on for, or is this your only expedition? You're on
Oh,
for another
yes,
one after
yes.
this?
This is the only one.
Another one? Yeah. I just came out
Sadly.
for this one as well.
Yeah, I'm only here for this one.
Dave, he doesn't leave. He just
Part of the crew partnership.
Yeah, I pretty much just live here now. My wife is wondering if I'm ever coming home.
Aw.
Yeah,
No,
when,
it's
when they,
it's
when they
all
shut
right.
down for the season, he goes on the corner and is like, wake me when you need me.
I've been on since 1st of May. I was off for 3 weeks before that, and then I'd been on since middle of February.
Wow.
Whoa.
So I've had 3 weeks off since the middle of February.
That's
But,
insane.
you know, we had to switch things up because we had somebody that canceled, had to cancel because of a family problem and that kind of stuff. Was supposed to take my place. So I stayed on an extra leg for this one, just so I could be with you guys.
That's right.
Aw.
Yeah.
I'm so
So-
happy you're here, Dave.
Any regrets?
No.
Give it a minute.
I think I tend to play off of Rob's jokes fairly well. Though
Yes.
sometimes they're just it's just groaning.
No, so not on your, no regrets on your end.
But I'll be off after this one because we're going to be doing just mostly mapping for the rest of the season. And I've trained my my protege Dan Foley will be out
Oh,
for the next leg,
cool.
and then a couple of longtime Nautilus video folks will be out for the next ones, and
Okay.
I'll be on shore doing support from there.
All right. And when we return on around the 13th, some of those folks that are going to get back on ship, they only have, what, 2 days only, right, before the ship departs again? So
I think so.
2 days of a land base before heading back to the waves.
2 days of work.
Exactly, 2 days of work.
2 days of fresh fruit and vegetables.
Maybe.
And poke.
Watermelon pickup.
Get some pineapple. That's what
Yeah.
I need. I need me some Dole Whip.
A Dole Whip.
What?
They really make Dole Whip
What
cream?
is that?
Yeah, they make it on the plantation. At the Dole Whip place.
It's like
I'm so
It's basically
a
pineapple ice
pineapple
cream.
ice
I want
Yeah,
some
it's
now.
like
Oh,
pineapple ice
for
cream, but
real?
it's
Soft serve.
really, really, really good. Yeah.
Dole Whip.
I think they
Not to
serve
be
it at like
confused.
Disney
With
and stuff.
other-
but-
But yeah, they do serve it at Disneyland and stuff. Not to be confused with Orange Bang.
Orange Bang? I've never heard of that.
You never went to like an Orange Julius?
Yeah.
Oh man, I wish we had some Dole Whip.
Bang, Orange Bang is like a whipped
good.
orange juice.
Request for next year's cruise.
With
Some
orange
Dole Whip on
juice.
Sunday.
It's really good. It's really good.
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks quite delicious. You have that request for ice cream sundaes. No.
You can get some shave ice on islands. Not the same,
yeah.
but it's pretty good.
You could make your own shave ice.
Oh man, fresh shave ice. Pretty
Yeah.
good. Like with the fruits. So what you do?
Do you get it with the condensed milk on top?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to avoid the syrups.
Yeah, you just gotta go both.
No.
It actually depends on like the like how I'm feeling and how the weather is.
The weather?
Yeah. It depends on how you have your shave ice. Because if it's like super hot and dry, I totally want something like lime citrus flavors.
I see.
Ah.
Yeah, you gotta get the condensed milk and the lihing
Yeah.
moi.
Maybe do it
Limoy,
that way.
Yeah.
It's like
and the
a
azuki
chill.
beans, a little bit ice
Yeah.
cream on the bottom, and then the Mauna Kea snow.
Yeah. Yep. That's the way to do it.
Automatic.
Yep.
What are your three lily
have you guys-
three lilikoi flavors?
Well, one of them is the lilikoi.
Yeah, right?
That's my fault. That's my
Mine
fault.
is too.
Yeah, I like lilikoi, lime, and then maybe like pineapple or something.
Right.
Or mango.
I go for the blue vanilla just
Oh,
for
yeah.
color because I like blue. And the lihimoi, gotta have it.
Oh yeah.
But I make my kids eat outside when they have lihimoi because it stains everything.
It's that,
Even
that
their
artificial
clothes.
red color.
Yeah.
It's not as good without
If I
it.
have any time on land
Red
before
55?
I fly home, that's what I want to get.
Yep.
Red
Oh,
55
yeah.
is best tasting.
Oh, yeah.
Red. I don't like red 47. Red 47 has like a tinge to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's something different.
So the chemical 55 is better than 47.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
for sure.
It's probably just made out of different.
Copper.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And don't they use like bugs and
Yeah.
things to make those dyes?
Do they still do that?
In the dye?
They at
There's
least
bugs
used
in the
to.
dye?
They used
Oh
to.
no, we're going down the bug trail.
I think to use like to make those food dyes, it's made out of like
It
little
always
bugs or
comes back to
something.
food.
Yeah. Well, Callum from Scotland is asking about the food on the ship, and since we're on the food topic, yeah, it's pretty good on the ship. It exceeds my expectations, that's for sure. And
A
for
lot
me,
of options.
when you have a lot of beans, I'm happy. So
Yeah, with
The
maple
desserts are my
syrup.
favorite.
I always
They are.
thought you were full of beans there.
Yeah, I'm kind of skeptical what's going on right now because they gave cookies for breakfast.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I mean, I was grateful, but I'm
I was
like,
like, is this an experiment to see how many
Why?
Americans will eat cookies for breakfast? Because I took one.
Breakfast cookies.
what are you talking about? There's a whole cereal based on cookies for breakfast.
Right.
That's true.
Okay.
That's a staple with camping.
Which cereal is that now?
Cookie
I have a
Crisp.
visual.
Cookie
Cookie
Crisp.
Crisp.
Cookie Crisp.
It's true.
Which is weird. Like some mascots, man. Like the mascot for like Cookie Crisp was like a dog that plays baseball. Like I don't know why. It's a hound that plays baseball.
I have that visual of the cereal.
It's such
box
a
in my
weird
head.
like. What does this have to do with anything?
play baseball, eat cookie cereal.
Yvonne, you were doing so well. When did you lose control of the...
That was my fault again. I did it. So what I did,
He brought up
was
food.
All you think about is like Rita's ice.
So you do
shaving
that.
ice.
you can make. We have some razors. So you can get some. You can get the ice cube that they make. Cheap little razors.
Maybe you have like syrup for it too.
Oh man.
What are you talking about? They have the chocolate, the caramel, all that stuff.
Somebody just commented orange soda over vanilla ice cream or maple syrup over vanilla ice cream. I've never tried orange soda,
Yeah.
but I'll do that.
What?
Yeah, it's like a root beer float, but with orange soda.
It's
really
an orange
good.
creamsicle.
Creamsicle.
really
I've never
good.
tried that.
I love creamsicles.
I do
Yeah,
want
that's
to
exactly what it is.
Now, though.
Yeah, so Josh, how far apart are those lasers?
Trying to get us back on track.
What a good scientist.
About 2 Tootsie Rolls.
We'll go just like on, off, see if we can.
What was on that breakfast cookie?
Oh my goodness.
It was Tootsie Rolls. It really wasn't chocolate chips. It was chopped cookie Tootsie Rolls.
We
I
all
can't
act
talk.
like we never get fed the way we talk.
Oh, here's a fun question, since we're in the fun descent. So when you get out of the boat, after being so long on a boat, do you get used to the steel floor when you finish and get back on land? I personally kiss the land the moment I get up. Some people, when they hop on the boat, they kiss the boat because they know they love it. They prefer to be on the boat than on land. I'm one of those that just rolls in the mud the moment I get back.
There's a visual.
What about you guys?
Yeah, I get dock rock. I feel like I'm still moving for a few days after I get off the
Is
ship.
that what you call it, a dock rock?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never experienced that, so I'm going to pay close attention this year to see if I do experience that. I
I
tend
feel
to
like
be
it happens
normal.
when you're falling asleep.
Yeah.
For real.
I step lighter when I'm walking around.
Yeah,
When we get back, I
right.
step
Yeah.
lighter. And when I get on the boat, I step very heavy. And that's
Could that be
something
the steel-toed boots?
Huh? No. It's because, like, you know, when you're walking around the ground, you have, like, you can walk at a certain pace. And, so, like, when you're walking around the ship, you don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah, yeah.
So you,
Yeah.
you can't be slamming your foot down, like you know, like you're claiming this area of the boat.
On that ship, I seem to walk hunched over the whole time.
Really?
Yeah.
You're also
It's because you're
very
tall.
tall.
You're your head.
That's part of the reason. You're banging your head on
I'm surprised you fit.
Well, you're always I can't walk in a straight line after I get off the ship. It takes several days.
Okay.
Looking at me like, wow, drunk so early in the morning. Oh.
Right. So this is my first time. I don't know what my experience will be. I'm a little nervous.
Oh, you'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
Right.
I've never felt it,
I'm going
so
to get off
it's
the
a
dock
possibility.
with my
you might
hands
have.
out. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for all of the advice. I might walk a little, yeah.
We're all going to be walking like sumo wrestlers when we get back a little bit.
Somebody should videotape that.
This is when you get
You might get
tired.
really tired when you get off the boat.
Yeah.
for
Because
real?
your
Probably
body's
sleep
not
for
working
a whole
as much
bunch
as
of
it
hours straight.
I sleep for like 12 hours the night
because
after I get back.
when you get off the
Serious?
boat, sometimes, like, you know, because all the rocking and stuff, and you're incorporating all the muscles in your body just to compensate all the time.
Yeah.
So you probably get really, really tired and like sore.
I thought I was going to get more stomach muscle with the amount of
Oh, yeah,
times I
that's-
engage
Probably.
my
You
probably
core.
are.
Yeah.
That will be the case, probably.
Yeah.
No, the
Okay.
core is engaged the entire
For
time.
real, even when you're sleeping.
Yeah, really.
That's right.
I love when I'm walking up the stairs and the ship moves just in the right way that it helps me go up instead of pulling me down. It's the best.
I
Just
got
kinda
really-
fly up the stairs.
I got real close to falling off my bed last night.
Oh, for real?
It hasn't happened, but it's been close.
Well, it's a good thing that nobody's gotten seasick in the past 14 days. So, I remember the first few days, the kitchen,
Oh, boy.
the dining room was empty. I mean, where's
Yeah.
everybody? Why is there nobody here?
I just wanted to eat
Let's speed up a little
soup.
bit there. Down to 25.
They do have good soup, though.
Yeah, very good soup.
They do. It was so helpful those first few days when you're just feeling it. And ginger, chews, and poi all together. Soup, ginger, chews, and poi.
Do you have any more poi?
I do. You
I
guys
still
want
want
some?
to. I want to try it. Yeah, I've never
Oh,
had
yeah?
it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll bust it out.
It's very healthy.
It's gonna be a little more sour.
I like sour.
Been fermenting in that bag.
Oh.
I put it in the refrigerator.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I tend to get dock rock more working on a smaller vessel.
Really?
Yeah, for like a 12-hour day or something on a smaller vessel, I get dock rock much more than on a.
What smaller vessels?
I'm the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
What did he say?
Small boats, yeah, fine, whatever.
Small boats just feel like a roller coaster. Is this?
It's a different movement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned how to sail, and then I don't like a little, like RS Quest or whatever. It's a workout. It is.
You're like never comfortable.
I
It's
was
like,
beat. I was. By the time I go, but like it was in there for like 2 hours, 3 hours maybe. I was done. I was like, oh my gosh. My knees were hurting. I didn't get
Yeah,
one of those knee pads.
The knees. My neck sometimes starts to hurt when I'm sailing from looking in one direction. for so long.
Yeah, from twisting.
Yeah.
I always find it comical when people have been on for a while and the ship is rolling. Do you see them walking down the passageway, kind of
Yeah.
leaning
I
from one
know.
side and to the other?
We were talking about the camera in the wet lab, and I always wonder how silly we look, kind of
Yeah.
falling around the wet lab if you can't
It's
tell that
funny.
the ship's
We'll
moving.
Oh, I'm sure people get a good laugh out of that.
Yeah, especially when we like start being underway again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always
like a-
tripping over my feet and
Yep.
falling over.
I kind of brace against the refrigerator.
It's like a bunch of penguins there.
Yeah, that's very accurate.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
It's even better when you're sleep deprived at 4 a.m. and you're
Good
just
griefy.
got the giggles and you're falling all over the place. It's actually quite fun.
Except when you have to carry those big boulders that the geologists
Oh.
pick up.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
it's a good
Darn
workout.
boulders.
Yeah, that one that you guys got on the last dive was
Yeah, hefty.
pretty hefty. Yeah, it was a big one. Surprised it fit in the box.
Well, it was kind of hanging out.
Oh,
It was like sticking up, right?
Yeah, I remember what Dan said when he's like, when they opened up the box, like, it's bigger than I thought.
It was large.
Well, we have another 30 minutes before we reach the bottom and before the next crew.
Siphonophore.
Yep.
Maybe 25 more minutes before we reach the bottom.
Yep.
So yeah, let's keep it fun. So where are people visiting us from, Hoku? Let's see. Let's see if
Let's
there's.
have a look-see. Oh, we got Spain in the house that just joined us.
All right.
We still have Germany and Portugal, Switzerland and Australia, Canada, UK, and US. Aloha mai, mahalo for joining us.
Stay tuned. It's going to be 20 hours of more mystery explorations here.
Never
And
seen before.
Deep sea fun.
That's right, in unnamed seamount X. That's right. It's called. Yeah. Oh. There's a good comment
You
here on
can
the
hear
chat.
me.
Watching the wet lab video is like watching a silent movie, pure comedy science.
Yeah, there's a reason we don't let them turn on a microphone.
That is probably such a good idea.
Yeah, especially when you're sleepy, man.
Yeah, when it's like 4 a.m.
If I think that I can imagine Offenbach playing on the background with.
Oh my gosh.
Fast forwarded a little bit,
Yeah.
like the Three Stooges.
Well, I was thinking like a classic Benny Hill speeded up sort of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh, someone needs to make this edit.
When know.
Just not when I'm in there.
I've done time lapses of wet lab stuff. I was on a project where we were doing midwater trawls of fish, and we would come up. There's this fish called cyclothone that it's actually like the most abundant vertebrate on the planet, we think. And basically we would get like hundreds of them in each trawl, and it was my job to count them. And so we get time lapses of me just picking up fish and putting them in piles for like an hour. It was really satisfying to watch sped up.
I'm glad it was time lapse.
Yeah.
Makes it more, yeah.
I like sitting in the data lab while we're mapping and we're getting going and being like, oh no. I remember when someone took a spill and it was funny.
I think there's one where did you lose the shrimp or the shrimp? It was when the shrimp was around. You're trying to hold it really nicely, and then we were moving.
Yeah, no, I was afraid that it would move because I've had shrimp where they still come up alive and they twitch around. So I was just trying to avoid that because it did twitch a little bit, but not much.
All right, question, Rob. Do we get to name the unnamed seamounts after we map them and dive them?
I'm not sure how that actual process goes. I mean, sometimes people will, write a scientific paper on it and give it a name, and then that kind of sits in the literature for a while, and after a while it becomes part of the nomenclature.
I see.
But other times, there is I think a more official process that goes through a international sort of board to name certain things.
Cool.
But I've always thought it'd be fun, like, how you have a name a star, and you I thought it'd be great to support some sort of a, charity by having you name a seamount.
Yeah. I like that idea.
Yeah, I know in Papahānaumokuākea, so I chair the nomenclature naming committee for the cultural working group, and people often come to us. In fact, we're getting ready to name some of those seamounts in Papua.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens over here,
Great.
but it would be a process with, all of us included in the conversation. But that's some ways that we get them named.
Well, there's one definitely. It's got to be the beak whale seamount, because that was amazing when we found 2 on 1. Yeah, that was
Right, something related to the
yeah.
to the whales. Yeah. Well, and that was the next expedition is related to the Palau, I think. We named it I forgot what the name was.
Aloha, Ohio, and Alabama.
Aloha, Ohio.
Yeah, Alabama, asking what we hope to find today, and we all have different expectations here. Someone here really wants to find a lot of rocks, a lot of cool rocks, but most of us want to find a lot of beautiful life, corals and sponges and other marine invertebrates and a lot of sea cucumbers. And what else to that list? Anybody? What do we hope to find?
I think Dave always has the same thing he wants to find.
Dumbo octopus.
I'd like to see more sharks. They're fun.
Yeah, more sharks would be good.
Say that, yeah.
We've been seeing a lot of cat sharks, and they're pretty cute.
Yeah, they're very cute.
I just want to find another ROV that's like secretly.
That'd be crazy.
It's just beyond the light there, Yvonne.
Just beyond the line.
Just hope Sentry doesn't come along.
What?
Just hope Sentry, the AUV, doesn't come along.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Somebody in the chat saying that there's apparently a push to try to use local panels to use native language to name underwater stuff. And that's happening in Papahānaumokuākea, like Hoku mentioned.
Aye, polole.
Yeah.
Mahalo
Also.
for mentioning that. But yep, we are, so that's one of our, so the Native Hawaiian Cultural Working Group, the subcommittee for the nomenclature, Hui is advocating for that. And then we've established a lot of awesome partnerships, like with OET and other scientists who've come out to the monument to perpetuate those practices and then really ignite the identity of those features and characteristics and organisms within our monument to speak for that space. Yeah, and so I know that the Pacific Remote Island Marine National Monument is also one that we're conversating about too. So mahalo, yep.
And we are reaching bottom in just over 20 minutes. Somebody was asking on the chat.
Yeah, I know there's some seamounts near the Clipperton fracture zone at the ridge axis on the EPR that had some interesting, like
the bumpy thing
Mach,
again?
Mib, and Sasha.
I
In
It's
the
doing the stop. Go,
Mib
stop, go.
was basically named after Make It
Weird.
Burn, which was a Jane Fonda video they had on board. And on the other side, there was watchstander seamounts they named. And the researcher Ridge, I think
But it's not.
the previous
Johnston
surveys, they
around.
named it after
That's-
characters from The Hobbit, the various
Mhm.
peaks. So there's Gandalf
Odd,
and
though.
other characters. So
The start stop.
yeah, yeah. Oh, did I say yoga video or
No,
something?
no, no. I thought it was like a movie, but it's
No.
it's her workout
Yeah.
videos. I love her. Really?
Has anyone here seen a coelacanth in the wild?
No, I
Coelacanthos.
think those are only in the Atlantic.
That's right.
Or I thought they were the Indians where they found them.
Right, Indian
Yeah,
Atlantic,
yeah.
not in the
Somebody
Pacific.
was asking that. So
There-
if anybody here was to be named after a force of nature, what would be one you like your name to be?
What? Can you say again?
Like for instance, me, a waterfall. I would love to be named after a waterfall or an artesian spring.
Well, I'd be named after a star if my name were like Star in Hawaiian. It would be a cool name. Hoku, what's your name mean?
Copycat.
It means full moon.
Okay.
It is no, it does mean star and the phase of the full moon. It's actually the fullest of the full moons, but yes.
Emma was named after the initials for Massachusetts.
Stop.
Wow.
I had
Too
to
far?
process.
Too far?
He's on a roll.
You know, I've actually been compared to a lot of natural disasters, like hurricanes, tornadoes,
Hurricane Emma.
tsunamis.
Oh no.
There is a Hurricane Emma, though.
I always wanted to meet a tsunami.
Like a person named Tsunami or a tsunami
Yeah.
itself?
Her name is Sue Nami.
No.
No.
Force
Force mute.
For a while there, I was looking at when they had phone books back in the day. I looked, there's a guy named El Nino, so I wanted to call and blame him for the weather.
Yeah, someone asking why the oxygen saturation, the O2 saturation and concentration reach a minimum of 7% and seems to be rising again. The person thinks that it will get to a minimum when reaching the bottom. Can anyone chime in on that?
Yeah. Sorry, Rob. Do you want to?
No, I mean, it's a combination of things. The initial, you have high oxygen because of the phytoplankton and things on the surface. But as the critters die and fall, they start to get respired and they chew up or take up the oxygen. And so that's why you have the oxygen minimum. And below that, you would expect it to stay low all the way down.
Yeah.
But what happens, you have water masses coming from different parts of the ocean that have a higher concentration of oxygen,
I see.
like at the higher latitudes. And so that kind of advects into the area, causing the oxygen to look like it's going up again.
Wow, I didn't even know that. Thank you, Rob. There's been no signs of ghost sharks, right, Chimera?
We haven't seen any.
No.
Now you have to remember the password.
Live another day.
Google. Googled again.
Yeah, just you have two little dips in the oxygen there.
Yeah.
We haven't seen very many creatures this time in the midwater. I feel like normally we see some squids and.
So I think when we dive at night, we see more because that's when a lot of the stuff comes up to the surface and is actively feeding.
That makes sense.
So when we dive during the day, you're not seeing a lot of the surface, and then when you get deeper, they're theoretically down there, but they're not as active. So I think that's my guess of why we see less.
They probably are not as curious. Or they're just
Yeah.
So what would be a good deep sea exploration book anyone here would recommend?
Into the Deep by Dr. Bob Ballard.
Blind Man's Bluff.
Yep, Into the Deep is one that many people are reading on this boat, actually, as we are cruising.
And there's also Bob's Inspiration, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
We have not seen giant squid sightings, but does anyone here know where they are? Where are the giant squids?
That's a good question.
No, that's where the colossal squid is.
They, if they were
Kraken, I
around,
mean, sorry.
they likely wouldn't come check us out because making a lot of noise.
Yeah, we do make there's a lot of critters that we probably are missing out as we are descending because of the frequency of the sound of the noise of the Herc, yeah. And the lights also. Brazil. Oi, Brazil. Brazil just joined us.
At what depth does Doppler usually come in at? Like full four beams?
Usually around like 70-ish meters, 75 maybe.
So is that an indicator when to start slowing down?
Yeah, as soon as we get bottom muck, then we're going to slow down and stop at 50 above, and then we'll get arranged.
The marine snow has been constantly the same since the very initial part of the descent. So stay with us, because shortly here, in about anywhere between 10 and 15 minutes, we'll be reaching the bottom. Right.
That was no joke. Like, we're literally turning over as soon as we get to the bottom.
Yeah.
You might not get quite through the hole.
We might not even get, like,
Yeah.
fix the camera.
You might just see the bottom. Over there.
Okay.
It's getting
miss
worse and worse.
Samuel.
Before, it's like we actually get to see what we're missing.
I know.
Now,
I think
We-
every other watch is a dive or recovery.
yeah. So it's like now we won't be able to see
The fruits of our labor.
what we're gonna miss at all.
I wish we had been on watch for that wall at Johnston. That was cool.
What wall? Oh, the
Vertical.
wall. Yeah.
So a question for the ROV operators.
Sure.
Herc's capacity is about 4,000 meters. How does that compare to other ROVs that can go deeper? How much deeper can other ROVs go compared to the Herc?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different ROVs out there these days. Kind of the full range. You know, there are some systems that can go down to the deepest depths. There's other ones that are only rated to 100 meters or 300 meters. But I mean, there's plenty of ROVs out there, science subs and other work class vehicles that are 4,000 meter rated or 6,000 meter rated, or kind of the two common kind of depths for kind of more off the shelf type stuff. When you start getting deeper in that, you kind of get into more specialized areas. Because the foam pack is a little bit limiting. Another, the cable, that amount of cable out in the seafloors starts creating limits. So there's kind of a wide range, I'd say.
Yeah, and I think the deepest we've gone is just over 3,900 meters, right? On
this expedition, yeah.
Because that was a question. And Liz, do deep sea animals, corals and sponges particularly, are affected by tsunamis since the fast wave occur in the deep?
I don't think that a tsunami would reach deep enough to affect them.
Well, I mean, it would reach, but the amount of vertical offset is so
Right.
little that they wouldn't have
Right.
effect.
Yeah, because a lot of the power, there's some, like part of it, of why tsunamis are so bad is the wave goes all the way, and then as the bottom starts coming up, it reaches towards land, all that force is like translated to the wave.
Right.
So science.
Bill Nye, the science guy.
That would be a fun guest on the ship.
Yes.
Bill Nye, the science guy,
Oh my gosh.
as our science communicator.
Consider the following. What we
That
have.
was a good one.
Yeah.
That was good.
That's just how I talk. He got to speak at our school in my undergrad.
What?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was during COVID, so it was just a Zoom in. So
Still.
so we were zooming in and talking and chit-chatting.
That's super neat.
Some
Yeah.
larger chunks in the marine snow,
I-
I feel like. Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to get him at the Planetary Society out in Pasadena.
Yeah?
Yeah, but he had just like moved to New York or something. He finally made the plunge to become an East Coaster,
I
whatever that
know.
means.
He became cool. That's what that means.
I'm sure.
Uh-huh.
Cold.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
We have seasons.
Burr.
You pronounce it wrong because it's cold. Yeah, you got it right then.
Yeah, you have two seasons, too hot and too cold.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, there's like that 1 week where it's great.
Yeah,
in between each
hurricane.
one.
Hurricane season. I've been there.
Yeah,
Done that.
been there.
Yeah.
Hurricane season's exciting, if anything.
Not when you can't leave.
Yeah, it gets a little sad. But
It's all yours.
I lived off in Virginia, in Dahlgren, so it's like that one bridge that goes right into Maryland.
oh yeah, yeah.
The one that looks like you're gonna fall off the edge. It's like super steep.
There's
So-
2 of those on the bay.
Oh, the one that's not near Fredericksburg.
Mm-hmm. You guys have just got me thinking about Rita's ice cream. after the shaved ice conversation now.
Whose ice cream?
Rita's ice cream. It's an
Oh.
East Coast thing.
Oh. Is that you can find that at a Wawa or something?
No, it's not Wawa.
Rita's ice is a shaved ice sort of thing.
Yeah.
Rita's ice
And
cream.
custard, and so you can have like layers.
And East Coast.
Rob knows. Rob's cool too.
And the ROVs, they don't have any sensors, right, to pick up bigger fish, whales, and things like that? Do they?
No,
They
not
don't.
to pick up
Yeah.
mammals or things like that, no.
ROVs mostly have sonars to keep them from bumping into things,
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
right?
obstacle avoidance
There you go.
And sampling containers.
or
Does Herc-
obstacle finding.
The Herc doesn't have that, right?
What?
A sonar for that purpose, does it?
No, there's
It
no
does?
dedicated. There is no dedicated sensor in which to
Oh, cool.
locate life. In that sense, like moving animals. If we want to find something, we have to make friends with the locals and get the inside scoop. I think the watch is going to wait until we land. They're not going to do the... They want no blue water.
They have 200 more meters.
I think our Beyond the Lights deep water series got us stuck in the deep water.
I think it might have.
We've been assigned all the deep water jobs.
Or maybe the Food Network sponsoring us.
It's
Food
become more
Network.
talk with less
Yeah.
dives.
Ooh, what was that?
Listening in on Blue Water on KOET.
About 5 more minutes.
If we get that Food Network sponsorship, I want to meet Guy Fieri, so. you know. I follow him around, go to the places that he's eating at.
There we go.
I have
Food Network sponsorship. Yeah.
Check it
Oh, I wonder if there's like a tiny Food Network.
For
Where they have,
tiny
like,
food
where-
things?
Where people make for tiny food things.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
There's like the Tasty.
Like the itty bitty
Tasty's like one of
samplers.
the companies, and they do that. They like make mini food.
Oh yeah.
There's
People make videos of like just little
I
tiny little
know.
things.
But it'd be so sad to eat. It wouldn't be good.
There's always
You don't
tapas.
know that.
It's true.
There's always tapas. I love tapas.
Yeah, tapas.
What is that?
Huh?
What is tapas?
Small
Small
bites.
plates.
Yeah, small
Ah.
plates. Yeah.
Yeah, like poke.
Yeah.
Tiny bits.
I don't like tapas.
At
Well,
all.
you could
I like
just
to
get
eat
out.
more food.
You just have more of them and the variety.
Oh, you're talking about tapas style restaurants?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
like
love those. Yeah. Just order a little bit of everything, and then if you like something a lot, order more plates of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like dim sum.
Like dim sum. too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no. Closing thoughts.
I've been craving some soup dumplings.
Ew, soup dumplings.
Yes.
What kind of dumplings though?
Oh.
Chicken, pork,
Oh.
tofu,
All of it, except maybe the tofu. I'm not a big fan
Tofu
of tofu.
dumplings. for
purple
me.
sweet potato.
I had some of Georgian soup dumplings, and they're pretty, not like Georgia the country, not Georgia the state. And they're really, they were so good. They have like an extra, like part of the dumpling. They have like a little handle for so you can pick up with your hands.
That's so fun.
You're supposed to get some fresh ground pepper on it. And take a big bite. It's It's really good. 10/10 recommend.
Okay.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Okay. So aside from Bill Nay, who would we want as a guest member of this watch?
Oh.
David Attenborough.
Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler?
No. I would not be on this ship.
I love him.
Yeah, he's fun.
That's a good question. I have to think about that more.
David Attenborough's a good choice.
I like Neil deGrasse Tyson narrating stuff. He'd be good narrator.
Morgan Freeman.
What?
Morgan
Morgan
Freeman.
Freeman.
Yeah, that'd be a good
Morgan
one.
Freeman.
If you were alive,
Or John Cleese. They have good narrating voices.
if he were alive, I would say Robin Williams.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he would love this type of thing as
It would
well.
be rad. And I love matzo ball soup. Just saying. They just popped it in the chat. It's so good.
All right, about 75 meters, roughly.
Copy.
Well, we are a few seconds away from our replacement chat group. So any questions that will pop in the chat will be passed to them as they are entering the room now. But stay tuned because in a few minutes the show begins.
You will get to engage with the sea cucumbers.
That's right.
The sea
Here they
pickles.
are.
I'll be watching while I eat my
Wait,
lunch.
come on, I'll stop on the windshield.
Who's sea
Come on,
Frank?
old, stop engaging manual.
So mahalo nui for joining us. Enjoy the rest of
I'll
your
stop.
voyage down to the deep depths of the ocean. Malama pono a hui ho.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 12 to 4 watch. I'd like to thank our previous watch for Ubering us down to the surface. And we're about to hit the seafloor, well, or land on the seafloor gently. And we are diving today on a seamount that is in the northeastern section of the Johnston Atoll Marine Monument Unit. It is not a geo, it's a seamount, has a conical shape. We're going to be going up some steep ridges, try to get some rocks, see some cool critters, take some niskins for some eDNA. All in all, looking at a 20-hour dive, covering 2,500 meters to about 1,600 meters.
You want me to take it out now, or you want to come down together? Thrusters are not enabled, Raj. No. I'll go the other way.
Just a second. 170. 070.
Raj.
That's 100 degrees off right there.
Yeah.
Good morning, back row.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Guten Morgen. Bottom in sight.
Raj. To play around with our sonars a wee bit.
Make them faster.
Herc sonar is saying there's nothing there.
Raj.
I think it lies.
This is gonna be something if I can't tilt up at all. Okay, there we go. Okay. on the 10th try, there was tilt. Come on, baby. I'm gonna power cycle.
Sure. I'm coming down a wee bit there too, so I don't get tugged. Thank you.
this loose flocculent material on the bottom is something we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
No, I was wondering what it is. Yeah.
Alright, Kylie, when you're ready for the craft, you want to go ahead and do a white balance? And floor back.
Ready when you are, Tim. Tell me
Alright.
if you need anything.
Zooming in. Okay, that looks good. Ready for the black balance?
Mm-hmm.
Going dark. Alright. Ready for the white balance?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Looks good.
Yep.
Come wide.
I'm gonna restart the sonars here. See if I can get a better read. You want to close up the toolbox there, Kylie? Thank you. All right. Back row, we good to just start moving?
Yeah, I think so. Let's start moseying.
All right.
I'm gonna do a gauge check.
Sure, go ahead.
Ready?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Bridge nav 20070.
I'm gonna turn off porch light.
Roger. You gonna go ahead and push in on the floculent matter there while we get set up back here.
Pushing in on the ooze.
Gross.
That's right.
It's the official term.
I mean, it almost looks like little clumps of algae or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually very high oxygen concentrations in the water for the first 150 meters of this dive. Oh, assuming the data is good. Got up to 130% saturation in some spots.
Oh, nice.
So I'm wondering if there's really high productivity in the top layer.
There was a lot of marine snow in the water as we were descending.
Go ahead and come wide there, please. All right. Hey, Kylie.
Yeah.
Would you mind messing with the Herc sonar there and seeing if you can get the gain? It seems like the gain's all the way up on it, but
We're still not getting a good reading for the substrate that we're on.
There's a little critter floating through the water.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's that guy, yeah. Go ahead and push on in there, please.
Sea cucumber. It's got a full belly.
Got some more zoom?
This one has some painted nails.
Went to the salon. Yeah.
Some of them seem to evacuate their, I guess, digestive system before they take off the ground, and others don't.
Yeah, I think it's
Don't
a
mind.
defense mechanism, like a panic, like if they need more speed.
Sorry? Oh, it's 10 meters. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you'd think they'd want to be as light as possible.
If we're just chilling, can we zoom over here, see these rocks look any good?
Yeah, sure thing. Raj, okay. That looks great, Kylie. Thank you.
And can we have lasers when you get a chance?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big rock.
Go ahead. Go ahead and push on in here a bit.
I'll be picky right now and hope for the best. The one I liked is too big, so
Raj, full eye, please.
thank you.
There's a pile off to the right there.
Yeah, they're kind of rounded and crusty. Got a big pillow of basalt flow right here.
We can keep these moves baked in here if you want there, Chris.
Okay. Bridge nav, 20 meters, 070.
Tim, can we do a round of introductions so we can check the audio levels?
I am ready when you are.
Okay. All right, hello everyone. I am Onye, your Science Communication Fellow on board the EV Nautilus. I'll be tuning into the chat and looking at your questions and passing them along to the team. So send in those questions.
Hi there, Kevin Conrad, a marine geologist from the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Here to answer geology questions. And then I have a question for everyone on the watch. While you're doing your intros, what's your favorite cookie? I like oatmeal raisin. I know that's controversial, but it is the best.
That is controversial.
We can't be friends anymore.
You can get off the watch now.
Thank you all. It's been lovely. I'm going to walk the plank.
I'm kidding. That's a good one.
I'm Meredith Everett. I'm a geneticist at NOAA's Northwest Fisheries Science Center in Seattle, where I work on the genetics of deep sea corals and sponges with NOAA's Deep Sea Coral Research and Technology Program, doing everything from taxonomy and population connectivity to environmental DNA, which is what I'm out here for. My favorite cookie is a creation called a compost cookie out of the genius brain of Christina Tosi of Momofuku Milk Bar. It has everything from coffee to potato chips in it. It's really good.
What?
Is it made from the compost bin?
It's made from basically anything you can find in a commercial kitchen pantry.
Ah.
Potato chips? Interesting.
Hey everyone, my name is Chanel Vidal. I am a PhD student at Arizona State University, where I am a geologist turned biologist, and I'm here as an ocean science intern. And my favorite cookie is probably whichever one is sitting in front of me, which is currently a chocolate chip cookie.
Hey, I'm Chris Krasnowski. I'm here as a navigator and high-resolution mapper. I am a postdoctoral researcher at the University of Rhode Island. And I guess my favorite cookie would have to be chocolate chip, which is exactly the reason why oatmeal raisin is the worst cookie. It's not because it tastes the worst. It's because you take a bite of it and expecting the best cookie, and then you have oatmeal raisin.
It's disappointing every time.
Every time.
I think this is going to be an introduction where we all throw shade at Kevin.
Yeah.
I can take it. I'm fueled by oatmeal raisin.
Yeah.
Can we have a zoom?
It's more for him.
Sure thing. Go ahead and push on in here, please.
Ceranthus.
Yep, a nice ceranthus anemone there.
Very nice.
I'm proud to say at this time in the cruise, I finally don't need to look up how to spell anemone.
Yeah.
Only took me a few weeks, but I got it.
Forward, please.
You might lose it when you go out, like go back to land.
Honestly, yeah.
But the next trip, you know, you'll get it back. Jessica.
Hey folks, my name is Jess. I'm part of the ROV team, flying Herc, and my favorite cookie is a white chocolate chip macadamia nut cookie.
Oh, that was mine.
Great minds think alike there, Tim.
Hi, I'm Kylie. I'm sitting in the Atalanta chair. I like cookies, but I really like Oreos. And if anyone from Oreo Corporation is listening, you can send us PR packages.
We will field test them.
See who our viewership is.
Hi, I'm Tim. I'm sitting in the video engineering chair to Kylie's left, and I am also a big fan of white chocolate chip and macadamia nut cookies. Original, I know.
No, that's great.
Do you guys like pistachio?
I love pistachio.
I do.
I recently had a pistachio rose water cookie.
Oh,
wow.
It was not bad. It was... I turned into Prince for a second there. Oh wait, I have Oreos in my pocket. It was pretty good, but it was sort of like a sugar cookie, but with like essence of pistachio and rose water, which I was kind of like looking for a little bit more out of it.
When I did a shelter-in-place pre-cruise last year, I discovered that Oreo had added a hazelnut Oreo to their lineup, and let's just say it was trouble.
That lasted hour one of the quarantine.
Hour one of 10-day lockdown in a hotel.
That sounds good.
Kevin, any of these?
Yeah, let's go poke around. Let's grab one. I should just take one right off the bat just in case.
Okay.
They at least look loose.
Yeah.
After last March, my standards have dropped.
You want a kind of a smaller one? What about the one here to the right, kind of coming on the lasers?
Yeah, that one's perfect.
Okay.
This is Murphy's Law insurance, because if you don't grab one now, it'll be mud for the rest of the watch.